So standardized testing would be a test that comes from an outside agency, like a state or higher agency, and that is designed to test the overall curriculum, but it's something that all students across the board are expected to be able to pass and demonstrate knowledge on, that doesn't really take into account maybe their learning, I'm going to say, differences. There's huge stresses. I don't think we see it as much in high school, but I have friends who have children in elementary school who have told me that their kids cry, that they can't. One of my friends was saying that her daughter is really good at math. She can do all kinds of things with math, but she can't count to 100, which is one of the things that's tested, and so she was in tears going to school.
I do think it stresses students out, and one of the biggest standardized tests that I see is the AccuPlacer, and a lot of students who fail the AccuPlacer or don't do as well as they think they could. They become really stressed and they worry about it, and they think that it becomes an indication of how good they are as a writer.
We have an outline on exactly, what to teach, when to teach it by. It's very timed, and sometimes teachers get stressed out because multiplication would be just for a week or 2 weeks, and that's
that standardized tests like the AccuPlacer, which places them into classes at the college level, I think that it's extremely ineffective.
I feel yes, teachers do need to teach them all the concepts, and that is important, but I don't think that there should be such a big emphasis and pressure on this one test. I don't think that one test should indicate what you've taught all year long. I think it could be done in a different way.
It's kind of miss out on the joy of learning, or just anything else that might make it seem worthwhile. If they're taking a test, specifically to pass another test, you don't really get any kind of value of learning, or
I think it measures some of their application abilities when it comes to applying their knowledge to a question. It shows those abilities. However, I don't think it shows their number sensibilities or their operations. I think a standardized test can tell the next teacher where that student is at exactly, and what they need help in, what areas they need help in, but I don't think it should be a pass or fail basis on moving to the next grade level. I think we need to consider all of the factors.
But typically I don't think standardized testing can measure any sort of aptitude with writing skills beyond surface level errors and fluency. And I've read various studies that suggest that students learn to make up information on the spot very well, but they don't learn how to research or write to specific audiences, which is detrimental.
Subjects. I think that in 4th grade we're so pressured on reading, math, and writing because that's what we're getting tested on, that sometimes, and I know I'm guilty of it, sometimes we don't emphasize on social studies or even on social issues or global issues.
Get held back. It's social pressure. I'll be held back away from all of my friends. I won't get to talk to any. I'll have to freak out. My parents are gonna get mad. I'm gonna never get into college. Whatever. I don't know what a kid's worrying about. Whatever that kind of. Santa will bring me presents. Something.
Yeah.
But results on benchmarks on all these things were super high, but I had super smart, the top-notch kids who were looking to achieve, and then there are people who have kids who are maybe lower achieving, or maybe just had any sort of enjoyment of school beaten out of them, and they don't, their results aren't as high. So I think that that's not.
And some of the students have a lot of testing anxiety, I've noticed, and they just aren't even confident when it comes to these tests.
Just not good test takers. They have a test anxiety. They have a huge issue, and they do that after the test, oh my god, I know everything now. I think that's devastating to kids, to just think there's so much in life that just sets them up for thinking that they're not worth anything, and I think the standardized test is one of those things. So I understand the purpose for a standardized test for sure, but I think it's a little out of hand, and I don't know what the solution is for balancing it, but to have them.
Yeah.